The JBS meat company forced to temporarily shut down some of its operations in the U.S., Canada, and Australia after the company says it became a victim of a ransomware attack. Teresa Priolo reports.
A major disruption in the nation's supply chain once again. This time, JBS, the world's biggest meat company, saying it is the victim of a ransomware attack. The company has halted most of its operations in the U.S., Canada, and Australia.
It's all about ransomware, and we've seen a lot of this beforehand, which is obviously getting a malicious payload into a network, then basically deleting backup files and encrypting the files that you need to operate.
Michael Balboni is a former Homeland Security advisor. It's not known who's behind the attack. The White House and the FBI are investigating, and it appears as though it originated in Russia. As Balboni explains it, these bad actors are looking for areas to squeeze the supplier, so they need to pay up.
They look for choke points, they look for vulnerabilities, and then they look to come in and squeeze you at the most vulnerable section.
JBS halted slaughter at its plants in Colorado and Texas. Plants in Iowa, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, and Nebraska are also affected. The U.S. plants alone handle more than 22,500 cattle a day, a disruption that might lead to increased prices.
We know that lots of farmers across the country produce the animals that go into our meat products, but they get funneled through a relatively small number of processing facilities. So because of that concentration, the system is at some increased amount of risk for disruptions.
The cattle industry was already reeling from the pandemic. Although it might take a hit again, it will likely bounce back.
I look back at the pandemic and COVID-19 and how that really influenced meatpacking, especially in the upper Midwest. And there were significant growing pains when that happened, but we saw a fairly resilient food supply chain.
As long as people don't go out and do panic buying, things should work itself out.